So I'm just sort of curious at an abstract level whether time is where you really find social movement and social and historical possibility. Not in tradition, maybe not even in the interrelation between Japan and Korea spatially, but somehow just in time itself. I'm asking this for a reason, but I'll come back to that.
深いですね。
そう
そうですね。時間から価値が生まれるのではないかっていう。時間ってやっぱり
It is true that time tends to forget, whether that time tends to let us forget certain things and whether that's good or bad. But it definitely dynamically moves a lot of things, both historically and socially. And the director told like an anecdote of he recently had a huge argument with a friend that almost hampered the relationship, but 1 week passed and he's starting to think that maybe it'll be better now. So that is something on his mind recently.
Well, just is the idea that we can't really know, and even social protest itself is not the main focus. It's just an abstract hope that given the way the world is, both for social reasons and random accidental reasons, things may not be good. So all you can do is hopefully act and hope that life itself can be made better, can be made good.
いろんなこと言ってたと思うんですけどそうですね。
Yes, the film is quite positive, at least I think. I intended it to be quite a positive film, although it's quite hard, but all you can do is really just live on and continue to live.
そうですね。
In my mind, war and capitalism might not be contrary per se, but when I was creating the character with the lead actor through multiple discussions, we did put an emphasis on having war being also a big part of being a citizen in a nation state that has had a lot of its culture or society shaped by war, and the sense of perhaps currencies or economic sense. So in my mind it's perhaps not in contrast to each other, but the war aspect definitely affected the the character and the narrative. Does that make sense?
It's knowing is a way of protesting, knowing and acknowledging things rather than maybe participating. So that's what I was kind of thinking, where the director stands.
So the film was, the principal photography, it was filmed in 2019, and at the time there was no war, but a lot of things were kind of deteriorating and heading in a worse and worse direction. And really it was kind of the sense where, as Chang-soo, the character says, it kind of just expands, and at one point it explodes. But now viewing it again, now that there is a war, it's kind of eerie.
And I'm just wondering, those kind of like Japanese families are so-called typical or not? So that's my question to you. Thanks.
So I do think that such families that are kind of that are not the typical family have increased in the numbers. Also, with regards to an ideology critique, and this is something that the film has been poked fun at a lot, which is like, for example, where a policeman would never, or almost never, will fall in love and marry such a can I say leftist journalist?
Yeah.
Which is not at all common, but I for one think that that in itself is the critique. And so the so-called kind of typical family, I think, is going to gradually decay and go away.
No, so the Korean name Changsu, if you translate it to katakana, then it sounds so, it is like the same.
Sounds the same.
Yeah, katakana in chance. So I was like curious if it was like intentional or it was just a, yeah.
あれはGive Peace a Chance、Give Peace a Chance の、引っ掛けではあるんですけど、
that was quite a deliberate choice of making the Korean protagonist's name sound similar to chance, as in give peace a chance. And I think we really need a kind of opportunity or chance to have some semblance of peace. And so really it is through this kind of pathetic and sad life of this man, but humorously also invoking the possibility, a chance for peace.
And I think on that ultimately really quite happy and hopeful note, this is a good place to end, I think. I just want to extend my own personal thanks for Yamasaki Kantoku being here with us. I obviously find it a really rich movie. All the work is really rich and interesting and worth a lot more discussion, I'm sure.